All right, all right, all right. All right, everybody. Let's see. Not back yet. Okay, everybody. Okay. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Thank you, YouTube followers, for jumping on. Thank you, Instagram followers, for jumping on. Twitter, you guys got to join the party. I'm not heavy on Twitter. I got a lot of followers, but um I'm not on Twitter like that, and I need to use it more. So we were talking, Dad. I'm about to send you this link now. Cross your fingers. Hopefully it works. What's up, Dominique? Domo. They call him DK. Oh man, I got the same thing going on again, Dad. I don't know what it is. It won't let you join. So, man, uh, let me see something. Let me see if I can send it. Let me see if I can email it to myself. And this just makes it very hard. Um, makes it very hard to do this. So the guys that's on YouTube, if you want to follow, if you want to join in, I'm going to put the link right here. And Dad, it may be better for you to jump on YouTube and do it there. Okay. Yes. All right. Let me see if I can email it to you. Email it to myself, and then let's see. Um, Hopefully that thing kicks in. Maybe it's just a little bit slow right now, but I do want. We got a lot of people on Instagram that normally come on screen and like to talk, so I do want you guys to be able to use that link so that you can get online and talk and ask questions if you want to, because that's the way I like to do this stuff, right? I don't mind sitting here talking to you all. What's up, Tracy? I don't mind. What's up, Mike? I don't mind if what's up, Jerry? Yeah, I don't mind to stand here, be online talking to you guys, but it makes the show better when people have questions and they can come online and they could just ask the questions right there. So if you have questions, don't hesitate. Just jump on, ask the question. Don't be scared. There's a lot of people with the question that you have. They had the same question. My father told me a long time ago, the only stupid question is the question that you don't have. And I thought that was profound. And so then I would ask anybody anything at any time. Um, okay. So I'm gonna try. I don't know how to do this. This is really, really weird. So I'm gonna go to our company account, and then I'm gonna go to my follow myself, and then I guess I'll put a comment. Okay, if you guys can see this. uh All right. So I just posted MVP Security Company joint. You all should see the link in there, in the comment section. So if you don't see it, we just gonna have to figure something else out. See. Ah man, it's that kind of day, fellas and ladies. It just will not let me. Just will not let me. Uh, it, it won't let me. It won't let me do this. So what I'm probably have to do is, again, what I was saying earlier. I may have to jump off of. I may have to jump off of YouTube, and or even what I'll do is I'll jump off of Instagram. You guys can stay here, YouTube. What I'm going to do is get uh I'm going to get Instagram off of this live stream, and I'm just going to go Instagram from my phone, so we'll be able to be able to do this. The only problem is though, you guys that's on Instagram on YouTube won't be able to see what the people from Instagram is saying. And that's the rough part because I want to include the Instagram followers on here as well. Well, and that just doesn't look like that's going to be possible today. So Instagram, I'm going to come straight to you from my cell phone. Yeah, Instagram, I'm going to come straight to you from my cell phone, and we'll do it like that. Instagram is off. And Bungie, that way Bungie, and you guys can come on, and Bungie, Daryl, and whoever else on. What about you guys? Corey, I'm on security coach. Thank you to Security Coach Academy. Getting ready for work, so can't jump on. There's their link. Yeah. So hot shot. There it is. When you go to the website, and let me know if you have any problems. Like I'll just put my email down here, and you can follow me. You can send me a message on my email. I'm just gonna put my Gmail up there because I don't want to put my corporate account up there, and then everybody and their mom will be sending me an email. And then I don't want my, that to get flooded with the business stuff that I do. So here it is. Here's my email. Oh, Danny. Okay. All right, cool. Dan is on. All right, cool. I'm going to bring Dan. Dan, are you on? How do I bring you on? Did you get the invite? So let me drop the invite for you here, Dan. Cool. That'll work. Drop it right here. And you can come on this live. I can bring you on here. And thanks for all the new YouTube followers. It's again a pleasure to see you again. I hope you all are getting a head full. I say earful, that you're getting a head full out of the content that I put on YouTube. And a lot of people get mad. You won't believe the amount of people in the executive protection industry that get mad because I post what I post. But the truth of the matter is, if these people weren't doing things wrong, there would be no video. There would be nothing for me to critique. And a lot of people say, oh, you're criticizing, you're putting down people. No, I'm actually giving teaching points. It's the way that you look at things. So if you see what I'm saying and it makes sense, and that you may be doing some of these things, or you see people doing some of these things while you're working, then you can say, I remember that video. I remember the guy pulling on the door. I remember Usher pulling the guy back because he was in the wrong place. I remember the girl running up to XYZ with the selfie thing. I remember this. I remember the person getting hit in the face with the pie. And if you watch these videos, you can take something and learn it from this and apply it to what you do out in the field and become a better protector. And when you're good at what you do, the people pay you a lot of money, man. And I just got to be honest with you. People will pay you a lot of money, and I'm not going to, divulge how much I get paid, but I get paid a lot of money. And the people know on here that's watching what I do, they can attest that I get, I'm in very high demand. Last year I traveled 260 days, and I was just glad to be home. I mean, to live a normal life, to sleep in my bed. It took me damn near 2-3 weeks for me to get adjusted to my own bed, my back, me just kind of tossing and turning, and, leaves piled up outside, and the grass haven't been cut since the late fall, the early fall. So to get back out here and spend time with my family and walk my dogs and even go to the gym. I tell people all the time, I can stay in a hotel and my room will be right next door to the gym. But a lot of times when I'm getting into cities, I'm getting into late, and I'm getting up into those cities late, and I'm getting up early. And once I get up, it's go, 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 go. And those are some of the disadvantages about working the executive protection business. Everybody sees the highlight, but also you got to understand there are a lot of down things that's with this too. One, most of the people are not sleeping properly. They're not eating properly. They're not exercising. They are not seeing their family. They're not spending time with their loved ones. A lot of times, I always tell people, if you have a jealous girlfriend or a jealous husband, this business is not for you. Jealous wife, this business is not for you. Because there are times that I don't answer my phone all day. I might not talk to my loved ones for days. It might be a text. Hey, good morning. I'm really busy. I'll try to call you later on if I get that. if I get that. So you gotta have a secure relationship in order to do this job, right? So Instagram, I am coming. Danny, let me know if you were able to get in, my friend. I call it keeps it's called keeping it real. Thanks, Aline. I appreciate that, man. Um, I don't know. I sent him the invite. I don't know where he went, but the Security Coach Academy. I've been trying to get him on for a little while, so we may have to replan this. Dan, let me know if you can't or you can get on, can or cannot. But I got you. And there goes my dogs. They miss me. My dogs miss me. They run up here to my bedroom every morning to say good morning. All right, so now I'm on both. So I'm gonna try to give you. Trying to say maybe I'll move this over here and give Instagram my undivided attention. I can give YouTube my undivided attention, and then if I can get Corey and those other guys on, then I'll bring them on too. So YouTube, you guys have any questions? You guys working in the executive protection business? Are you trying to get to work in the executive protection business? Do you know where to start? Do you have a mentor? Do you have a coach? Have you attended a school? Have you worked with any celebrities? Have you worked with any corporate executives? Have you worked with any politicians, senators, congressmen, governors? Okay, Corey, use it. You guys just use this link. I'm gonna drop the link right here, and I'll bring you right on. And if we can't get this StreamYard thing working, I'm gonna figure it out next time, because I don't want there to be I don't want to exclude anybody to be able to get in onto the conversation. So all right. Anybody working, coming to, okay, here we go. All right, we got Dan over here. So YouTube guys, you're gonna miss this. Corey, I put the link right there, StreamYard. If you can join it, I don't know if you need to have an app or whatever, but if you want to come on, just click that link. I'm certain it'll show you how to set it up, and we can go from there. Dan. Finally. Oh yeah, man. Look, how are you? I'm doing good. Good. It's good to see you. I'm taking it you're not directly affected by the fires. Me personally, no. Okay. Yeah, business wise, just kind of maintained the clients that were in the affected areas. That was pretty much right when the fire started. And obviously, us, we don't wait for the evacuation orders. We got them out, well before that. So one of them, I can't really say who or where or what. One of them was severely affected by the fire, and the other ones are doing well. Okay. Well, now on a normal basis, and I like what he said. So YouTube, you guys can't see this, but he's on Instagram. It's Dan with Dad Security, and if you're on YouTube, you can see his profile there. The Security Coach Academy. Danny is another guy. I do it as well, but here's Corey right there. Did you try to join on? Did you try to join on to the other link, Dan? I was on YouTube. I saw it, but I didn't see a link to join there, so I just hopped on here. And okay, all right, Corey. So we can't really see you, Corey, but I'm gonna put you there anyway. I'm gonna put you front and center there. Okay, so So I got YouTube. I have Dan from Dad Security on. So Dan provides security in Los Angeles, and he works with a lot of high-level VIP. But one of Dan's specialties is residential security. Am I right when I say that, Dan? Yes. Okay. So, and what we're talking about, everybody, when we talk about executive protection, everybody's considering, I want to be a bodyguard because I want to walk around people and be in the pictures and then go post it on Instagram. Right? But that's not necessarily what it is. It comes with a lot of planning and strategy. And so I asked Dan, how was he handling his VIPs that he worked with? And Dan said that, listen, we don't wait until we get the call. We give them the call. So you initiate the call. Now, great. So Dan, you want to talk a little bit about that? Now, before you answer that question, is it that do your clients already know that, okay, these are the emergencies that could happen, and if these things were to happen, then this is going to be the process for the security team? Yes.
emergency operations procedures I go over with them. They have a copy of it. And it goes step by step, what to do with an earthquake, what to do with a wildfire, what to do with a house fire, what to do with inclement weather, tsunamis. One of my clients out in Malibu. So they pretty much know the steps.
Mm-hmm.
And knock on wood, they've always been very receptive to me going, okay, let's go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been very, very lucky with that. I've never had one that says, I'm not going anywhere. So,
So is there a lead time? Like, okay, you're watching the news and you have like, okay, is there some kind of lead time you need, like 4 hours? How do you know when to move, when to go, what to do, what to take?
Right. So we were getting reports of like actually severe, dangerous wind over the next 2-3 days. So obviously that's right there. If you talk with the client, you tell me this is what's coming. We're in Malibu. You know what happens in Malibu when there's very high winds? We call it the red flag warning. This was kind of a beyond a triple red flag warning for the winds they were talking. They were pretty much hurricane force winds. And so we all prepared for that. We got the preparation going for, for example, you want to get all the cars out of the garage, right? Because the power could go out. You have to then pop the garage and lift up yourself. You just want them out, get ready. We already have in place what's going to be removed from the house and where we're going to bring it. I have some clients that have $80 million Monets and Rembrandts hanging on the walls, and so obviously those are going to go, and you have to. So that's something you want to take at last minute because those have to be handled with care. And we already know where we're going to take those things. So once the fire hit, the winds were going, where it was in relation to, we were in the direction of the wind, we started removing things. And we took them to our storage places where we go. We removed the client, and all except one fared well through through this whole thing. And it really is just devastation out there. It's complete. I'm talking like neighborhoods are gone out of this. Homes all along PCH are gone, and restaurants. Actually, I was seeing on Instagram yesterday. So there's a client that I have up in Pacific Palisades, and that's the routes there on Sunset is where I would stop, and they would say, "Hey, bring us this when you come up to the house." So like, what is this grocery store route? But it's on Sunset, Pacific Palisades, and now it's just completely gone.
Wow.
All the places where everybody shops there is just completely gone.
Wow.
It's devastation out there, and I don't know how long it's going to take to get rebuilt.
Yeah, and the PCH is one of my favorite places too, man. Every time I go to the Bay, I just get on, and I've been there 1,000 times. I just get on the PCH and I ride it. I may even ride it all the way down to San Diego, man. Yeah, man. So hit this. What is it? Santa Ana? What county is that? Santa.
LA County. I live in Ventura County.
Okay.
Camarillo area.
Okay.
So I always take PCH and go south through Malibu all the way down to the 10.
Yeah.
Over into Beverly Hills, or Sunset over into Beverly Hills.
Okay. Okay.
Venice up to LAX when I'm going to pick up clients or so.
Yeah. Okay.
That's sort of my home away from home, that area right there.
Okay. Now, I got Corey J on it. Danny, see, I'm gonna send you back this link. See if you can jump back on YouTube. I think it would be better if we can get you on the YouTube link. On the was it YouTube? I think wherever you were on when you said this was you, if you can get back there, that would be good, because I can how do I do this? I can really bring this conversation for everybody to hear it over here. All right, Corey. In the meantime, Corey J, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man. I was
I'm on YouTube.
See that link? It should be. See if you see the link there. If not, I'll take it and post it again. And
he just got a register. It's almost like
YouTube and you want to come on screen. This is how we're gonna have to do this. If you're on Instagram and you follow me and you want questions and you want to come on screen, just jump on YouTube and I will let you guys on. Global God, thank you for being here, my friend. Okay. All right, Corey, talk to me, man.
Hey, man, what's going on, man? I'm enjoying this, man. This is actually my first time on your YouTube, so
wow.
I always Instagram is easier.
Yeah, you know what's funny, man? Yeah, Instagram is easy. I'm trying to work this thing out because Instagram, you're just only limited to, just the people that you know. And there are a lot of people that I interact with on YouTube who either watch the content or leave comments or send me messages and things like that. So I wanted to, open myself up to this platform so that I can interact with them because they don't know the Jays. They don't know, the Dannies of Dad Security. They don't know the Daryl Jones and all of these guys who have been killing it for years in the security business that could help them get to the next level. And again, I guess before you came on, I was telling them when I met you, Corey was 17 years old, man. He was where I think he was 17, 18, he's working for
Well,
Lil Wayne.
18.
18. Yeah, sharp brother, man. If I didn't remember his face, I think when I finally saw him, I went to California to interview some guys for executive protection position. And when I finally got there, I saw it. I saw Corey, and I was like, man, I know this guy, man. I know this, and I remembered his demeanor and the way that he carried himself at 18 years old. Now how old are you? How many years is that? 20? You 38, 36?
38. Going on 39 this month.
Yeah, 20, almost 21 years, guys. So
Yeah.
you can make it. You can make it in this career. You can make it as an executive protection agent. You can go really far. So Corey, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself? And you got anything you want to talk about tonight while we're trying to get Dan over here on the YouTube channel? You just go give him a little bit about yourself and what you have done and what you're currently doing.
Main focus has been personal. That's been my niche, my main niche. But over the course of time, you got to know how to differentiate yourself and develop more skills if you want to stay in it for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
So I started out like a lot of people working CSC when I was a teenager, making extra money, and um, I would work security at this studio where I was able to meet, uh, all the big entertainers that was coming through there, their security, and just asking them questions, being that young kid that's kind of like intrigued. And my main question was, how much money do you make? That was important to me, And once I started hearing certain figures that was like, man, I gotta, I gotta work 2 weeks to make what they make in a day. That was enough for me to say, okay. A lot of people say it's not about the money, and I think, hey, whatever your motivation is, but my motivation it became a big motivation when I heard that amount.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And hearing that, I listen to guys that were doing it, listen to guys that are actually in the field, not people that are just teaching, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not just speaking because they read books or they went to school for something or, a lot of you meet Secret Service agents, but a lot of them are in the armory. A lot of them are at a desk. They're not in the field. They're not field agents. They're not on a protection detail. So, you know, mind who you get to mentor you, and I was fortunate to have some guys who were actually doing it for well-known celebrities,
Mm-hmm.
A1 celebrities. And I did exactly what they told me. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of proving myself, but it was proving yourself through action. And once that stuck, I started developing a name for myself as somebody that's trustworthy, somebody that would show up, be there on time and did the
Mm-hmm.
job. I was the shut up, be seen, not heard type of individual. Um, and I took it very serious because I knew the first lesson was discipline. That
Mm-hmm.
was the first lesson that I was taught coming into this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and discipline, that's what brought me a long way. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, I'm not the biggest key type of person, but people like to have fun and stuff like that. I just don't think it's nothing fun about possibly uh, putting yourself in a line of fire or in gunfire and stuff like that. And then when you've gone through things and you've been in actual shootouts and you've been through those storms, you learn that nothing about this job is a piece of cake or fun. You know what I mean? It's time consuming. It's the sacrifice of being away from your family. It's nothing. Uh, it's nothing. You know. nice about it. You know, the lack of sleep,
Mhm.
not eating properly sometimes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Back then, I wasn't getting any sleep because my client who I was with, um, it was no sleep. You know, he was either on a bus or in the studio, so
Mhm.
there
Mhm.
was no sleep for me. You know, so and I'm not telling guys that you can't have fun, but before you try to get to the fun part, learn to get a good foundation. You know, it's funny you got Dan on here, but I watch Dan videos a lot. His content that he has when he's actually on site and he's actually giving tips and stuff like that. And my biggest thing was, damn, you giving this for free, man. This stuff is legendary. You know, the information he gives, but you see the love that he has for the business, and I think uh when they get the medicine of what it needs to take out the cancer, that's what I call Dan. He's a formula that is needed in the business, but um, you know, my whole mindset is I don't want guys with this type of wisdom to give it away for free. So I've been outspoken about it this year. I'm gonna take a seat back. It's none of my business what people do. Again, discipline. I have to check myself sometimes, but I watch him and I learn a lot. Biggest advice I could give people tonight is don't act like you know it all. Don't act like you have all the answers because none of us do. You know, there are times when if I don't know something, I have to call somebody that I feel has gone through it to help me out to be able to give me a good idea so I can go and look great to my clientele. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's just what it is. You know, being able to have somebody to call to give you that great advice or give you another outlook. So if all of the guys that are moving around can do it, you should be able to do it, especially if you only been in this game 5 years and under. You know,
Mhm.
be a sponge, soak it up, um, and just learn. Always have the mindset to learn.
Um, yeah, I agree. I agree. And then I think when my son, honestly, and I don't say this because he's my son, but my son plays football. He's a wide receiver. He's a little short. He's like 5'8", a little short, about 155 pounds, and probably one of the best football players I ever seen in my life. And I'm not saying that because he's my son. Now, but all during his college and high school career, he had kids who were not as talented as him, was not as talented as him that was getting more playing time with him. And then he would always complain like, "Dad, this is going on. The coach don't like me." And I said, "Look here, son. Um, let's look at your grades, right? Because the coaches, these kids who don't have much talent than you, have better grades than you, and they know the coaches is not like 1980s when we had Dexter Manley and the Hogs, and all you needed to do was put on a uniform and you could play football. These people want you to be student athletes, not athlete students. So they want you to be student athletes, and they want you to be above board across the board. So if you're not performing well in the classroom, they know that they don't, maybe they'll win some high school games, but that's going to be it for you because no college is going to look at you when you graduate there, right? And you're not no college that you want to go to, no D1 college or nothing like that. So why waste the time? So for him, I think the moral of the story is if you want people to take you seriously, you have to take yourself seriously. That's it. And what I find in this industry, there's not a lot of people who are taking themselves seriously. You know what I mean? And that is defined by a lot of the uh, social media handles and bios where you can see what people are calling themselves executive protection agents and they do this and this. And then you look through their profile, you say, there ain't no way.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's the security already is about optics, right?
mhm.
When you go into the personal side, it's really about optics. Now, depending on who you work for, you know what category you work for in the personal sector, personal protection sector. Um, it'll determine how much they look into you. So you got hip hop, they want you to be more big and physical.
Mhm.
When you got guys who like to go in crowds, who has the large crowd fan base, Okay, they want you big, and you can push a crowd. When you got people, like of royalty, uh, politicians, they now it goes into skill. It goes into how smart you are and your background and what did you do in your background. A little bit more of where you placed your training at. You know what I mean? And like you've done executives and politicians. Now it goes into training. You know what I'm saying? Where you trained at. Um, like when I work for a big corporate company, now they want to see your certificates, and then they'll take those certificates, and then they'll call the school and then do a check on you. You know what I mean? To see if it's legit or not. And a lot of trainings have your student number, so and the instructors are writing notes about you and what's your triggers, and uh when stress tests, what did he fail on, what does he not do good with, he talks back, he doesn't fully listen, he doesn't fully understand the movement or the assignment. You know what I mean? And then you go into when you have urban side of it, the music side, they just ask you what's your Instagram. So now it looks cool to have pictures with rifles and or a box, or I'm running and gunning. You know what I'm saying? So I think with social media, I personally think social media has really watered down the business. That's where I'm at when I look at it. It's not a lot of skill, soft skill being taught or talked about, which is pretty much on a top level. That's a big thing. You know what I mean? How well you speak to the valet can determine if you keep the vehicles up front or not. They run that part. They're a third party company. So the hotel won't necessarily get involved in that. And then like if you don't, if you depending on how you talk to the front desk, how much other stuff you're going to be able to get, or if you need a room right away because you and your client flew in quickly. You know what I mean? And right now, Dan, y'all got evacuations going on. Speaking on the fire, that's very important. Your relationships are going to come in handy. Nothing about knowing how to shoot or fight is going to help you in California right now. But if you have a real good relationship with the peninsula or anywhere else, maybe that room that they were holding, guess what? You call and be like, hey, well, Corey, how fast can you get here? We were holding this room, but if you need it, we got one more for you. You know what I mean? And that's how that's going to work out for you. You know what I mean? So I've been in Calabasas before, and we had to evacuate, and I don't think the fire was right close to us, but it was like in that evac zone, and we had to get out and go somewhere else. I think we went to downtown Hollywood. But I'm hearing that all the hotels are fully sold out. So what do you do now? Well, the next place you probably got to go is maybe take that 4-hour drive to Vegas. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So Dan, what are you seeing out there? Good information, Corey. And I hope you guys who are watching, I hope you guys are eating this stuff up. But Dan, what are you seeing? What are you?
Yeah.
You can hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, regarding the hotels,
Mhm.
my clients have. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So my clients have 3 and 4 homes all over the United States. They're not going to stay in a hotel unless unless they have their meetings, which they're important enough that they reschedule them, or we have the luxury of that. With the hotels, you have to go out at least an hour away from the actual incident, and you'll start being able to get hotels. That's in the contingency plan, but they just hop on their planes and they go. So
Now the FBOs, and for you guys who don't know, FBO is called a fixed base operator. Basically, it's a private jet. You have Dulles Signature, Atlantic. You have NetJets. You have a whole bunch of them there. Now, do you have to make a phone call ahead? I mean, are the jets, or they did not, are, you know, if the FAA is clearing the jets, if something like the firestorms because of the smoke clearance, or how those things working? Because you're leaving in time, in I'm guessing ample time before even any of that stuff takes effect. You just get the news and they make a decision and then you're out.
There's always a 5-hour flight plan.
Okay.
Mostly, okay. And then that's where you have these contingency plans in place. When you start seeing these fires coming in or earthquakes, you start contacting FBOs that are 2 hours away, an hour away, and you have the pilots fly over there and land, and you drive them out there and you put them on the plane when they're out of the outer skirts of these catastrophic events that they're having. So that's always in the contingency plan. And you just have to have these FBOs on call, and you go and you do your monthly checklist and you drive to these FBOs and just make sure things are updated and kind of keep relationships with the linemen and the front desk. And that's what you just have to do. That's part of the security director's job. That's part of if you don't have a security director, it's the security company owner like me. That's what my daily, weekly, monthly things that I do is I drive and I do all these confirmations of these contingency plans and make sure they're in place and make sure the roads are there and make sure the roads up and running and make sure we have refueling services, make sure they have de-icing capabilities, and just part of the checklist that I do amongst all the other things that I do.
Yeah. You know? Now having you know, some people, some security companies, they're like on call. Hey, if somebody wants to go out to dinner, they want to go to, you know, a red carpet event, they want to go to a business meeting. In an instance where a company is not, well, you don't have agents assigned to these VIPs all the time. What's the callback time? I mean, do they have like, okay, you got 30-minute window or 1 hour window or whatever for your staff to get to your people, or do you have to deal with that situation at all?
So every now and then we get that. I have people on site at all times, whether it's one guard or 3 guards. And we know their itineraries daily, sometimes weekly, so we know where they're going to be going, and they stick to it pretty much. And you just make the accommodations to that schedule. And I'm very lucky to where I don't have somebody go like, "Hey, I want to go to a party. It's where you have to be there in 1 hour. Well, it takes me an hour to get there."
Mm-hmm.
Lucky you.
I have had some that do that, and I was mowing my lawn on a Saturday, and they called and said, "Hey, we want to go to lunch. Can you come out and sit at the house?" I'm like, so I accommodate them, you know. So yeah.
But normally when you have clients like that, I mean, normally when you have, well, I can't say normally, but depends on what side of the fence you work on. If you get clients like that and they call you, the amount of money you charge them is never an issue. It depends on what side of the fence you're on, Corey.
I want to say, man, even like with athletes, I've had it to where I've got called at 4 a.m. in the morning saying, "Hey, meet me at this club," because he's tired of being at the house. This place doesn't even close, and you know he's hungry and all this other stuff. So, and I was like, "Okay, well, how long?" He was like, "Well, I already started driving." You know what I mean? And as far as flight wise, I at least asked him for a 2 hour notice. So he does have a 2 hour, and that's what the pilot and the crew, that's what they give. So it's kind of hard when you have a flight crew that is on a beck and call, because then it limits that time even less. So
Mm-hmm. You gonna say something, Dan? I think Dan has a delay on his side.
I do actually. I get a lot of echo, but no,
Okay.
no. Yeah.
What was the answer? I don't even know what the question was at this point.
Yeah. Well, you were asking about like what's the call time.
Oh yeah, I think that we're talking about. Yeah, you said 5 hours, right?
Well, that's a 5-hour flight plan that most FBOs ask for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they ask for. Usually the pilots are off. I had it one time where we were with a client. We were gonna. He's an NFL owner, and we were ready to go to the game. And all of a sudden, he wants to go off to New Orleans. It's like so I had to call the pilots, and they were like at Disneyland because they weren't scheduled to go out to like 2 days later. And they had to zip up to the FBO, and they zipped up to the FBO. We kind of had to delay and get them. They have to ready the plane and get it running and get it ready. And so, but for the most part, the FBO wants like 5 hours and just to get the pilots ready and the flight path. You have to put in a flight path, get it approved, and they have to put you in line. So they always try and get 5 hours.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to say with you guys, right? I probably won't stay on much longer, but both of you are in unique areas of the country, right? Outside of California, Corey is in South Florida, so he's always faced with hurricanes. I say always, but Florida is in the hurricane path. Depends on what side of the peninsula you're on if you get hit or not.
Right.
But so the evacuations are pretty much you guys all year round have to account for. Well, not all year round. You have your seasons for the different natural disasters. But Corey, do you see a lot of that planning on your side for getting your VIPs out of the area, and what's your normal process for doing that?
So with on the east side of Florida, we're a little bit different because you got to look at building structure. That's a big thing when it goes into a client want to come and move here. Whether they're in the flood zone, when was the house built? What is it? What is it made up of? Made up of. If it's just wood, uh, uh, if it's not concrete, I'm pretty much saying no to the client. There's some clients where we have to change out windows and put ballistic windows instead of the hurricane proof windows. But I mean, when it comes to here, our buildings are kind of built for it. So we don't have issues like kind of like how Cali, how they had and everything just burnt down. And if it is a flood and they're in a condo, okay, well, do we really need to get them out? If it floods, we're really not worried about it. But high up, how high are they at that condo level could concern me. So maybe I might want to take them to a hotel, just give them somewhere a little bit down. Um, and some clients they really just don't come during hurricane season, you know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, which kind of hurts, when it comes to business. But we got it fairly easy though. There's certain areas that, like I said, they flood. But guess what? You stay home, stay inside. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
let the city do their work and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty easy to call here. And especially knowing the lay of the land of where to be at and where not to move to or where to not stay. It helps out too. So know your area, know your geographic, perimeters, and again, it's all in advance. I'm pretty that's something that you teach at your school. But everything that you do and how you move a client is all in advance and doing the proper check and learning, learning about everywhere it is that this client may go and learn it quickly, you know. And it'll help you out, be able to make good decisions. And also, you're not just there to protect their person, but I do believe that you're there to protect their assets as well. So it's nothing like having a client move somewhere and it's a flood zone, but yet they have a pretty nice car collection. You'll be crazy not to say nothing, because then if they lose out on money, they might not want to pay you or pay for your services.
Mhm.
That may hurt, but guess what? You may get a nice bonus if you actually talked it out with them and let them know that, listen, this is what happened last year during this hurricane or during this situation. You may not want to move there. You may want to put your cars up somewhere else. That could get you. That could be the difference on how long you sign a contract for.
I agree. So Dan, you get any comments you guys got? So we got some aspiring security company owners here. What would you tell them? And it'd be for last words, because I think I'm gonna chime off shortly. But if you had a comment, Dan, just say whatever your comment was, but then let's go into like new aspiring companies preparing their clients for emergencies. What would you tell them?
It has to start out to where you have a line of communication with your client, whether some want to just go from you to the assistant, from you to the estate manager, or what have you. But everybody needs to know. You have to have staff training. They have to be on board. They have to know what the procedures are. So that way, when you ring that bell, everybody has to go. I can't stress that enough. Everybody has to know what to do. You have to have a written plan, and everybody has to read it. Everybody has to sign that they received it and that they know, and constantly go out. So I go out to my accounts, and I pick a topic to go talk to them and say, okay, boom, an earthquake just hit. What are we going to do? Walk me through the procedures. They go tell me, this is who they're going to contact. This is what they're going to do. They're going to evacuate this. We're going to notify this person. Here's where the gas lines are. Here's where the main water lines are. They just have to know. They have to know what to do. On my end, I have to monitor all the traffic, weather, and emergency conditions. I have to know their itineraries. There's construction on some road, or some roads down to the rock slide out in canyons. Well, that takes away one of the evacuation routes. Now, what's the evacuation routes for today? Right? There's so much to know and so much checklist that you go over daily, every day. Update them every day, and it's something that you have to do if you want to give professional security services to your client.
I love it.
A lot of work, so you have to do every day. And the last 364 days you did it, nothing happened. But 2 days ago, here we go. This is what we're trained for, right?
Do you ever get any kickback from your clients, like, hey, no, you don't want to do that, or do they respect your?
No, they respect it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? When you get those kind of clients, that's what's saying. If I tell my clients something, there's really no kickback. Every now and then, I have a client that loves me but hates security. If that makes sense, she would rather not have security. But since the United Healthcare thing has happened, she's been really on board, and she's been requesting changes, things that I've been suggesting to her for quite some while.
So one thing that you can defeat that with is let them do what they do. Pick and choose your battles. Don't always sit there telling them, don't do this, go this way, drive that way, drive this way. Tomorrow they're going to be like, just leave me alone, right? So they know you're watching. They see the updates on the thread, on the WhatsApp thread. They see that you're doing your job and you're watching. You're not telling them. They read it. They know what you're doing. And all of a sudden, when you go up and tap on the shoulder and say, "Hey, we got to go," they're gonna be like, "Okay, I guess we have to go because I know he does his job." The detailed threads that he puts out, the traffic, weather, and emergency conditions check okay. And then all of a sudden, something's on there, and then they get a phone call from you. And I'm very lucky with clients like that.
Yeah. And no, you're absolutely right. And they know your value. And again, a lot of them, even down to Brian Thompson, some of the people want to be regular people. They want to go to the grocery store. They want to drive their Ferrari, or they just want to go walking in the park or whatever. They want to do those things by themselves. But it's good when you have them to respect you for your opinion and your expertise.
Yeah.
And I normally I have no fight. Whatever I tell clients, they know they ask for something, they don't even ask for the price. That's how you know that you're good.
Right,
and
right.
when you send the invoice, they don't like, oh, well, what's going on with this? You didn't tell me it was going to be this much. They just pay it. And most of them will pay
Those are the good clients. I like those clients.
it.
Right?
Most of them even pay it before I even get there. It's okay, cool. So it's I do the invoice in advance, have my staff to do it, and I send it. They send it. By the time the job is over, we're already paid. So that's good. Now, what about? And I'm gonna ask you guys this, because I have them, and my teammates have them, and maybe your clients should have them too. Do you have satellite phones?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I think it's important for us to have them to communicate with
You
each
have to
other.
have it. There was no cell service in Malibu.
No, right now,
Yeah.
right? Exactly. So what? Yeah. So what happens if there's no cell service and you're the client, you can't call the client, they can't call you. So what happens then if they don't have the phones?
If they don't have cell phone,
Yeah. No, they don't have sat phone.
you have to have a satellite phone.
Exactly. No way around it, right?
That's like in the bag. You have to have it. That's like, yeah.
It doesn't even cost a lot to have it. You know what I mean?
Right. Nowadays, it doesn't cost. Yeah.
I can see if a good, $2,500, $3,000 phone, it goes a long way, and just to have it by their office or whatever their place for if they have a bunker, a safe room or what have you. I mean, it's just good to have it, just in case, you get especially in LA where they do a lot of home invasions, Atlanta where it's country and they have home invasions there. You tell a client where to put it, where to leave it. You know what I mean? They like to cut the phone line or jammers. That's another thing. But if a person got a jammer, I mean, golly, what did you do?
Mm.
you know?
Mm.
Yeah, but it doesn't cost nothing.
All right, so guys, if you have questions on here on YouTube and you haven't been on YouTube or any of my lives before, the way we do it, I don't see nobody asking questions in the comment section, but we like to bring you on the live so that we can actually talk to you. People can see your face, hear your question. If you have any questions, go ahead and I posted the link in the comment section, the chat session and section. And if you have questions, click that link. I'll bring you on screen. If not, we're going to do closing comments, and I'm going to ask these gentlemen, do you have any clients coming to the inauguration?
Yes.
Okay. Are you coming?
I plan on it. I
Okay.
plan on going, and yes.
All right. So let's talk offline. You have my number, but let's talk offline, say over the weekend, and make sure that I'm going to come back on next to talk about the inauguration, how to move around the city, what to expect, what not to expect, where to stay, what not to say, where to drive, what not to drive, what to bring, what not to bring. So if you guys, I just heard something pop up here. Here we go. There goes Jerry right there. So if you guys want to, as Jerry, look at it, look at him handsome. What's going on, man?
I'm hopping from hotel to hotel, Mr. Key.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
You got to tell me about that. But if you guys need to move around the city, I think it'd be good. And if Corey, I don't know if you're here, but I think it'd be all good for us to meet in person. I don't know how much time we'll have to sit down and break bread, especially when you're moving around with a client and you're not familiar with the city during a time like this. We may not have no time to connect at all, but if you can, let's try to connect when you guys get here. And if you need anything in the city, please let me know. Or let Jerry know, because Jerry is a barn burner too. Jerry Rubino's from Aries Defense, a good friend of mine. We met a couple of years ago. He said I mentor him, but the dude is a track star by himself, even without me. I'm just in the fan. I'm in the bleachers, cheering him on. That's all.
Jerry, you were law enforcement, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And military. Right?
Oh yeah, 27 years.
Yeah, man. So let's, Jerry, just real quick before we jump off, because you got 30. We've been on for what, almost 2 hours, I think. So you got some followers on here that you guys probably never seen before, because everybody's on Instagram. So introduce yourself, tell them what you do, and drop a word of advice on them.
Yes, sir. Again, good evening, everyone. So, Jerry Rubino's here. I'm the owner from Aries Defense Group. I've been in business since January 28th, to be exact, of 2021. We conduct a lot of business down in DC, Virginia, now Florida, moving down to the Midwest and the West Coast. Hopefully, by the end of this year. Hey, Mr. Key has been a blessing in my path since I started all this. I've been following him ever since I went to one of his seminars, and all I do is take notes. That he knows. I got a whole notepad full of notes. I watch every video he posts, just so I can expand my knowledge and my toolkit, so I can prepare my guys to be successful when it comes to EP work, security services, anything in that scope.
I love it. Now, I heard you say thank you for the compliments, man, and I'm honored. Now you say you're hopping from hotel to hotel. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so right now I'm wearing my military hat. So we came down here to Williamsburg, Virginia, which we're conducting some military training, but we got some inclement weather coming in, so we currently are sitting on a hotel just waiting for the call from the higher ups.
You were Army, Marines.
I started in the Marine Corps, and then I got tired of getting shot at, so then I moved into the Army. So.
I just dropped my son off to boot camp last week, man. And I supposed to saw you, man. I got up there, and then they started snowing when I was there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna turn my ass around and get out of this town." But I had to. Yeah, he was home for Christmas, and I had to. He went to Fort Jackson down in South Carolina for like a pre-boot camp, so he was down there for 45 days, and now he's in Oklahoma. But I took him there, I think, on the 6th. I dropped him off at the airport, and he flew out there. So he's in boot camp now for the Army.
Wow. Well, if he's wanting to do any aviation combat support, send him my way, Mr. Key. I'll take care of him.
You supposed to be retiring. What do you mean you gonna take care of him?
September 14th of this year will be my last day in the service.
Okay. I got to find out what I don't know. He said AIC. I'm learning all of this stuff, right? Is that something AIC? Is that something?
Yeah.
What's his AIC? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
He's doing AIT.
Oh, okay. I have no clue what is what.
Yeah, that's just his initial training. That's what he's doing.
Okay. Do you have anything planned for the inauguration? I think we talked about it. You needed a couple of vehicles. Did you get those straight?
Yes, sir. So we all good to go. When it comes to that, it's just with everything that comes into play, and I'm sure you're well aware of the multiple entry points that are going to be closed into the Capitol. I think they're projecting to like 2.5, even 3 mile radius.
Okay. So like the last inauguration, because I mean,
Correct.
Independence was shut, everything was shut down. Like, cause I had staff, like we were the contract security from the Capitol to the monument, and it was a nightmare getting people in there, and we had to get tour buses and shuttle. We had to shuttle people from the Gaylord National just to get them to one drop point to get them in there, and
Correct.
the people that chose to drive, and
So
man.
now what we're being told is that there's only a certain amount of tickets and tags for your vehicles that are being assigned for private security companies for a specific drop point that hasn't been, placed yet.
So how do we get the tags and the tickets for the security?
So there's an individual that they're supposed to be sending out their name with the email for us to request. Now, we're a week and a half away, and they have yet to send out the email.
yeah, I know, man. And listen, I got man. Anyway, I don't even gonna talk about it. I got a client that has an armored vehicle, man, and I don't even have the itinerary for him. Oh, I think Dan dropped off. Dan, we'll catch up with you later, Dan. Thanks for jumping on. That has and I don't have an itinerary for, man, and that's just like pulling my hair because everything's a tighten up, and as the inauguration, the closer the date we get, the more streets close down. So
exactly. So we're right now we have everything, all the itinerary for our client that's coming in, where he's going, where he's staying. It's just that one piece for the 20th, understanding where is the closest point for private security to do the drop off. It's just where we're struggling with right now.
Okay. Well, I'll be back in DC. Today is I need to be in New York on Tuesday, but I'm gonna pass through DC. I'm not sure if I'm gonna stay on Monday. I'll get there early Monday. What's your schedule look like Monday?
I'll be at the Hill getting it in.
Yeah. Okay. If not, yeah. So he also works on Capitol Hill in the actual Capitol building. And are you at liberty to tell people what you do there? I mean, not detailed.
I mean, I work with the physical security team. So anything that comes with the members, as far as their access, key controls, anything in that nature, it's what I take care of.
Okay. So again, guys, if you guys are on YouTube, on Instagram, or wherever you're following from, make sure you follow Jerry Rubino at Aries Defense. A very smart man, very wise man, great character, runs a good company. I'm not sure if he's hiring, but I know you get really busy in the
We
summer
definitely hiring.
Okay. All right. So if you want to drop and tell them out maybe in the comment section, if you want to tell them how to drop your website or how to get to you, do that. So I love to connect,
I appreciate that, Mr. Key.
No problem. All right, man. So you could do that. Corey, any parting words? And then let's come back next week. So I would say, since I'm going to be traveling on Monday, I would say, Tuesday. Let's talk like next Wednesday. Let's get around this inauguration for, and we can, I'll put it out so that the guys and people coming from across the country can kind of get the information, street closure things from your perspective that they're going to look out for, in my experience and perspective, that we can help them navigate getting through the city and managing what they need to for their clients.
Absolutely.
All right. So did you drop you're going to drop your website information in the Instagram or whatever in the comment section?
Yes, sir. I'm doing that right now.
I appreciate you, brother Corey. I'm gonna bring you on and let's go ahead and wrap this up. And tell you anything you want to tell them, brother Corey.
Oh man, just keep on coming over here and get this knowledge, man. That's all I can say. I think everybody that is on here is doing the work. I mean, the first step is not being lazy. I mean, you guys, it's 10 o'clock at night where I am, and you could have said, "Hey, I'm too tired to watch this live," and give excuses. But the first thing is to not give excuses and to want it. That's the biggest advice I could give. Want it. Do the work. Don't be afraid. Don't ask for handouts or ask to be given anything. You know what I'm saying? Even if Melvin doesn't have any work for you to do at the inauguration, but ask him, hey man, can I hold your notepad for you and shadow you? You might need some coffee. You know what I mean? Just being there sometimes will go a long way, because then when a job does open up, guess what? You're right there in line to pick it up. You don't have to make a phone call. You actually showed up. A lot of people are afraid to just do the work and get in and get their hands dirty because it's not the amount that they feel like they need to make. A lot of things is just getting in, and and that's the biggest thing too. When you start getting in at a bigger level, you just want to end. I tell Melvin all the time, hey man, right now I do corporate clients, and I do I do a lot of royalty, and I do a lot of counter surveillance, which is what I'm doing right now, where I can't have the light on too much. But I always tell Melvin, like, hey man, like, yeah, he knows what my next go to is, politicians. So I have things that's on my bucket list to do, and I make it known, man. Closed mouths don't get fed. So um, even though I've been in the game so long, I still want and have that want to do something, and building and having a relationship. Never know, I'll get in my truck and I'll drive all the way to DC if I have to. He needs my trucks. It's there right for him.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, man. I mean, like Corey and I've been together a long time, and we're getting to the point where I've seen him elevate. I've seen his growth. Like I said, I know the kid from 18. He's 38 now. Still call him a kid, but I know him since he was 18. So for 20 years, and I've seen his growth. And not only over the 20 years, over the last 12 months, he's just a much more polished person, you know, and I want to start opening those doors to guys I know, who have put in the work. And despite, you know, what anybody says, I see you put the work in. I seen you get the certifications. I see you grown as a professional. You know, I see you not wear stuff on your shoulders as much. And it is really pleasant and joy to see, man. So I hope to get to work with you in the near
And
future.
thanks, man. Thanks, man. It means a lot because you know, when you're working with law enforcement and you're responsible for hiring law enforcement all around, um, in every country really, that I operate in, it's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of work, and you learn that a lot of things that used to matter don't matter. Social media doesn't matter, you know. The way people talk doesn't matter because when you go somewhere and you got to get back home to your family, that's what matters. So, and all you could do is put in the work and gain knowledge, gain it quick and fast. Clients don't want to hear that you don't know. They don't pay you the money that you ask for to not know. You know what I mean? And being able also to, you know, I take public speaking courses, you know, to learn how to better articulate myself. Because I want to, it's not just working for a client, it's actually giving clients the experience. That's what I do now. You know, that's my future goal is giving clients the experience of security and what we do, you
Yeah,
know, and that's what you're paying for. So,
yeah.
with growth and responsibility, it comes with learning. And I see you, you know, you were somebody that didn't talk. You didn't have the patience to really talk like that, and now you're doing podcasts. So I see growth in you too.
Thank you,
You
Frank.
know what I mean? So
Thank you.
I know who you were back then. You were quick to slap somebody, uh, quick to put them back in their place. I mean, when we actually met was Gilbert Arenas' birthday party, where it was probably one of the most expensive birthday parties I think to date. He gave out little black cards, if you remember. The invitation was a black card, and if you didn't have that, you couldn't get in. You know what I mean? Or there was a lot of people that wasn't able to park where the other buses, our tour buses, were parked, and you was stopping them because they simply had an attitude. So you
Hmm.
can't come in there being arrogant and a know-it-all. You're just gonna get quickly humbled. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
And so you learn how to deal with people and talk to people and realize everybody deserves to be respected and you know
Hmm.
and heard. Everybody wants to be heard. You know what I'm
That's true.
saying?
Hmm.
And just know your place. You know what I mean? So I won't ramble on, man. I'm gonna get back to work, and I appreciate even coming on your live, man. It's always cool. I got a long night, so trust me, this was fun just to let me get the time down.
No doubt, man. Well, I appreciate you. Well, let's get back. We'll be back on next week. I'm gonna watch the football games this weekend and tomorrow. I'm gonna try to get into stock market. Anybody trade stock market? Stock market got toe up over the last couple of weeks, man. I lost so much money, and I laughed and because I always like to show people, like, Joe, bro, this is how much I made today. This is how much I made today. Look, this is my way out. So, and
What's
but
funny, what's funny with that is, if people don't, you know, think about other ways of making money in this game. Not everybody wants to be a body man or on the person. You got to understand, man. I'm making probably more than what I would make being on an actual personal team, just to, just doing counter surveillance and just people that are upset about the amount of money that they lost last week. They've been vocalizing it. Guess what? These companies are getting smart and saying, "Hey, man, we want to put eyes on the guys that's talking all that smack on social media." You know what I'm saying? We can't have another United Healthcare CEO like you know what happened in New York. We don't want that to happen again. But it takes resources and people to be able to make that happen. So you know, I'm making money in ways that really it was like, oh man, I wasn't thinking about it, but okay, cool. So I really don't have to come to the inauguration and have to put in all that work
hmm
and
hmm
be confused all day and all this movement. You know, I sit
hmm
right here and do what I'm doing. You know, so
yeah.
I don't think, you know, it's already too. And like Jerry was saying, the information is not really out there as clear. It's really unorganized this year. I don't know. I think the most successful inauguration with a lot of pieces to it was Obama. That's me personally. I felt like his was very well set up. This one right here, I don't think I'm feeling it this year. So I'll stay in
We're going through
Florida.
a transition, so it's just like a whole new team trying to do this off the hip, so to speak. So
Oh man, and then so maybe the sergeant at arms, and well, you can't talk about all that. Maybe
yeah,
people
I can't
got to
get
prove
upset.
themselves.
I heard about that. I mean, y'all can have it, man. I wish y'all luck, but you know, if y'all need me, I'm here. But hey, man, I really, yeah, stay
All
in
right,
Florida where it's a little bit warmer.
that is, man. We'll be back. We'll be in touch soon. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you, man. And I'll talk with you offline sometime this weekend.
All right, cool.
Okay, man. Take care. Thanks. All
Hey,
right,
Mr. Key, one
sir.
thing I was talking to a person that's looking. We're looking to partner up to do a project, and he told me to tell you to if to remember him. His name was Lorenzo Reed.
I know that name. He drive a transportation company or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. He said, "Remember him?"
He said he knew exactly when I brought your name up. He knew exactly who you were, and he was like, ask him if he still remembers me.
Shoot, man, you know, we meet so many people. I tell these guys, listen, when I used to coach football, I used to always tell the kids, just stand next to the coach, stand next to any coach, because when they need somebody to go in the game, they say, hey, you, what's number 13? Get in there. So, you know, as one of those things, and I tell people, like, say, and I like you because you kind of keep the open communication open. I mean, I'm not available to talk to a lot of people all the time, so I prefer text for those people who have my phone number. But if you actually have somebody that you look up to, that you mentor, it's up to you to be watered or you fertilize, right? So I'm like,
Yes,
hey,
sir.
I'm not coming over here and looking over at this plant right here. I'm gonna go water it and fertilize. I got a lot of stuff going on, but if you really want to grow, you have to put yourself out there and say, you know, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And they say what you're seeking is also seeking you. So, but you got to be in the right place. If we're playing on a football team, and I just tell you, hey, listen, run the route. I want you to run a deep post. Go 10, go 10 out, and then cut 10 in, and I'm gonna get it to you. You just gotta be there when I throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? Run the route.
That's it.
And a lot of people aren't running the route. They come and get the initial experience, and then they fall off, and they see other people who are around them flourishing, and they like, wonder why he never called me. You
That's
know, why?
the one good thing about this is that I'm learning how to stay in that right path,
That's
and
good.
and getting to know the right people that's
You
gonna to give me that good advice.
did you go to the conference, the Protector conference this year?
I went to the EP mixer down in LA.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to the one in Tennessee because I had a detail that on that same day.
Yeah, me too.
I spoke to Craig, and I am gonna go to 3 of them this year,
They
which
have 3 conferences?
they have 4 total. But I'm gonna make it to 3 of them, and I'm gonna help them sponsor three of those events.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to get your name in front of them. And remember what we talked about is offline, but you got a special secret weapon on your side that I don't have.
You'd be surprised how much that's been working.
I need to get one. Oh my God.
It's been working, but definitely want to go move forward with what we spoke. Offline, of course,
Yes, sir.
with the whole having our own team with like the board members and everything.
Yes, sir.
That's really going to pay off, especially in our area.
And you know, I was going through the intake form today. What I realized is that you guys were submitting, but it wasn't connected to the back end. So it connects to the back end where it filters all of the information. There was nowhere there. So when you were saying that I did this, and I went through the day, I'm like, okay, I did it, and it worked for me. But where did the information go? And the back end wasn't connected. So we're connecting that now. But the good part of that is I can't do it by myself. I'm one person. I'm running, you know, and I could use guys like you for the insight. And we want to push this thing. We want to make it equal across the board and create opportunities.
I think it's going to help a whole lot of small business companies, especially minority business owners. Because I'm seeing things outside of the normal that we wouldn't see on the regular, and I'm able to get into that kind of feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of my secret weapon. So it works because I've been all I've been doing is just gathering all this information on how they making it work, and I
Yeah.
think we can do it better.
Yeah. One. Hey, listen, I was on. I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you. It's a Fortune 100 company. I was on with them the other day, and we had this exact conversation. I'm not gonna tell you the name of the company. They are ranked in the top 100 Fortune 100 companies. But I was um, talking to one of their heads of security the other day, and we were having this exact conversation. That we can do it, we can do it better. But in order to do it together better, we have to do it together. It has to be cohesiveness. So for me, there's no separation. Your company is my company is your company, and then you call me for a detail. I'm a CEO at MVP, not at Aries. So if I'm standing at the door and that's my post for the day, so be it. That's what it is. Jerry needed me. And honestly, man, if you could say, hey, bro, I ain't even making my profit margin is low on this one. And I'm like, all right, cool, man. Well, you could say, hey, you might say, I'll pay you $300 a day. I'm like, okay, no, don't even worry about it. Just keep it. Because I want to see you grow. I want to see your company blossom. And I know if you was actually making better than that, you would take care of me, So, and that's the thing, just to have the honor and the integrity and hold people accountable. And I believe with the association, we can do that because there's a lot of things going wrong. A lot of people doing underhanded stuff to people and not playing by the rules. And it would be good to have someone that oversees and say, this is flag on the play. Even you're ejected from the game, or you're on the sideline for whatever.
Yeah, I've wrote a lot of notes on the pros and cons on how certain things are being done, and how I feel like things could be better.
Yes, sir.
Just by who we can project into the team, and make this organization like a whole lot better.
Let's get it done, man. I'll see you next week. Thanks for coming on. I told the missus that I was going to be on for 45 minutes. We are now on almost 2 hours.
Yeah, I got to check myself in myself.
All right, man. Be safe out there. See you next week. Love you, bro.
All right. I'm
All right. Take it. Yes, sir. All right, everybody else who's still on, we appreciate you guys for joining today. It was kind of impromptu for me to do. I haven't done one of these lives in a while. The last one I did was Brian Thompson, and before that, God knows who, God knows when I've done one, just simply because I've been busy. I like to, KG, thank you for joining. I like to continue to extend this opportunity for you all to join. When you see me coming live, come on, get in. Don't just watch the video, participate. Leave a comment, ask a question, ask to come on screen. We got a lot of people, man. We talk about a lot of people, heavy hitters who work with celebrities, who work on TV shows, who are instructors, who own security companies, who work with corporate executives, politicians. These guys are on these lives all the time when I come on, and they have a bunch of advice that they can give, things that you can learn from. And also, if you're watching my content and you're on YouTube, Twitter, whatever it is, just follow my YouTube channel, man. I drop dope stuff on there, and a lot of people get mad because they feel like I'm talking about people in the industry. Well, you got ESPN, and nobody says anything about those guys when they're talking about the football games, the baseball players, the hockey players, or anything like that. And we should be able to have the same type of platform for our industry to talk about the things, the pressure points, the pain points, the mistakes that we make, the things, but not only the mistakes, because if we're just looking at the mistakes as mistakes, we're not we're not looking at the room for improvement. And there's plenty of room for improvement in the executive protection, corporate security, and law enforcement industry as a whole. And these are things that I talk about on my platform. Not trying to embarrass anybody, but just simply trying to say there's a better way to do things. And when you're out there working with your client, when you face some of these situations, that you handle it appropriately, and you're not on a video going viral for doing something that you shouldn't be doing, or didn't know how to do, or however that works out. So that's my rant. I love you guys. If you want to learn more about the executive protection industry, I put my website right here. I have a class in DC in March. There is let me see if I can just copy this. There's a buy now, pay later program, just in case you don't have all the money. And you can work that out with Klarna, Affirm, PayPal, however you work it out. And pay as you go. No money down. Just show up in the class, wherever the class is, and let's get down. Let's get down. KG, what's going on, KG? Oh, that's Ken. Hey, Ken. Oh my God, that's one of my favorite people in the world. Great executive protection agent, great person. She came to one of my classes, I think in 2022 or 2023 down in Charlotte, and me and her been rolling ever since. If you look on my Instagram and all of that good stuff, you'll see me and her, Bungie Adams. You'll see them with me all the time, because I only ring up certain people when those high profile clients call me. I ring up the high profile protectors. So love you guys. Thank you for being a part of my business. Thank you for being a part of my life. And you guys that watch and follow me, thank you for being a part of my network, following me, liking, sharing my content. I hope to see you in the class. I just shared the executive protection training link to my website. And then also I have the exclusive partnership with BMW, where I could train. Well, with BMW, we train executive chauffeurs. So like I said, any evasive driver school is going to teach you how to drive fast, accelerate fast, and brake hard, and turn sharply. But there's a nuance to being a executive chauffeur. There's a ways to do things. There's a way to move and work with the security team. And there's also a way to drive. And we have partnered with BMW, and we have exclusive access to their tracks in Thermal, California, Indianapolis, and Spartanburg, South Carolina. And we train in all of their vehicles. So if you have never drove an M3, M4, M5, you will drive them at this training class. And that class is also on my website. You can check it out. It's also, I'll just post the link right here, so it's not hard for you guys to find. But you can also check out that class. That class April 2nd, April 3rd. And that's the class that you're going to want to be in, because that it's our first ever class with BMW. And yeah, here's the link. But that may be the last class for the year, because this year is shaping out already to be a bond burner for us in the executive protection industry. Well, a lot of contract opportunities coming up, a lot of things happening since the United Healthcare CEO homicide, and we've picked up a lot of clients. And during these training classes is where there's people. I think somebody earlier asked me, am I hiring? I say, no, I'm not hiring, because we are not a hire company. We are a recruit company. We recruit only, and only place we recruit you from is our classes. So if you're not in the classes, we don't know you unless you show up to a seminar or a networking event like that. And we exchange information. So nonetheless, that's my rant. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Keep following, keep liking, keep sharing, and hope to see you in the class. And I will see you next week on Tuesday for another episode of The Way I See It, here with live guests talking about live stuff. And I want to say the other word, but live stuff. All right. So we'll see you then. Peace. Signing off. This is Security Czar.